Welcome to the One Shot Effect podcast. Today I'm with Sebastiano Olla.
Hola.
Olla.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it right. I heard it all. This is a new one.
Added a letter or two.
It's fine. No worries.
From Italy.
From Italy, yes. Originally from Italy, yes.
How did you get into magic?
How did I get into magic? I'm gonna tell you the real story because I make things up most of the time.
What's it for?
So I got into magic through filmmaking. So I was studying to become like a screenwriter and a film director, kind of a filmmaker in general. And the most like boring class that I had to take was film history, which I thought like, but then I learned that the first filmmaker were magicians, and suddenly something like clicked in my brain. Like if you look at the history of film, like the first people who kind of figured out how to edit, how to do like special effects were actual performers, like magicians. And most filmmakers, even today, they have some knowledge of magic as well. Especially because in the beginning, they were trying to use like big theater production and were putting it into film. So they were using like, special effects that the illusionists would use. And I just started slowly getting into it. And I remember when I was in film school, they gave me kind of like an edge because while everybody was trying to do like visual effects as in like computer graphics or like using After Effects, I was like, no, we can do this practically. Like this could be done live. And that kind of gave me a little bit of an edge compared to my other students, which didn't really work because I'm not a filmmaker today, but at the time it was cool. And there was a moment in my life where I was like, I'm tired of being behind the camera. I want to be in front of the camera. And that's what magic just came, was like, oh, what about that thing you learn from the movies? Why don't you put it into use for your performance? And then it's just kind of, it's almost like a drug. You learn one trick, you perform it, you get a good reaction, you want to learn another one. I met incredible people also through magic specifically. And I'm like, I want to be like them, teach me more. And then it kept on going. And now I'm here. That's how I got into magic. It's not really any special story. It was a gradual thing. I'm also very much a skeptic. And most magicians, unless the most famous one, are the biggest skeptics on the planet. They will teach you how to be a skeptic, so then we're also connected, and then I put it all into one package. That's it.
How did you learn your magic?
How did I learn magic? So, in the beginning, it was just full on self-taught. I want to say I'm lucky. I have a pretty good like hand-eye coordination, so it wasn't difficult to pick up moves and stuff. I've been doing martial arts most of my life, so I know how to quickly pick up on a move, for example. But I gotta say, when I moved to Cape Town, I started hanging out with actual professionals, like people who've been doing magic for way longer than me. And when they started teaching me, it went on a whole other level. Like what I was trying to do by myself was not even close. As soon as I picked up from them, actual moves and how to do it changed completely. Like in the beginning, it was self-taught, but it wasn't good. I thought it was good, but it wasn't. Until I started meeting some of the people here, specifically here in Cape Town, some of the local magicians. And thankfully they were kind enough to be like, yes, I'll teach you that. Because I was like, why would they do that? They don't even know who I am. But like, no. Some of them really were like, yes, we're gonna teach you so that you don't do weird stuff when you're promoting our art. And now it's more of a mix. Now when I have an idea, I'm like, okay, let me figure out if I can do it, but I will also consult a bunch of people and say, like, do you think this is good? Do you think this will work? Do you think this is a good illusion? How would you do it? And then I would just kind of bounce back and forth. We call it jamming, like a musician would jam music. We also do the same thing with magic. Like I will try at least once or twice a month, I will try to meet up with a group of us and try to work on new material and new effects. But mostly all alone though. It's a lot of time in front of the mirror by yourself, just making sure that the angles are correct.
How would you compare like building a comedy kind of routine versus like a magic routine?
It's exactly the same thing. At least in my opinion, um, it's all storytelling, no matter what it is. Like a magician, a comedian,
Video director.
a director, musician. Like if you think, even if you go to like a concert, like there's a difference between like musician that would just play all the songs and musician who would make it into like a show. Is they're not just doing their songs. There's like fire, and then like the songs like maybe transition one to another, and then they would maybe the singer will make a speech in between the song. Like it's clearly designed to be a show, not just like, oh, we're playing music. And it's the same with magic. Like, yeah, I can do a trick, sure, but if I attach a story to the trick, if I make it like so that the people can follow the story, and they don't even, at the end they don't even care about the trick. They're just like, oh, that was fun to watch. So I don't see any difference between writing for comedy, writing for movies, or writing for a magic trick. Like you have to tell a story that's engaging to the audience, and then it doesn't really matter what the tool is.
Fair.
Unless I think so. Some magician might disagree. They will be like, no, the trick is more important as to be the best illusion. But nah, I don't think so. They can fight me.
Do you have any magicians that have inspired you?
There's definitely Penn and Teller, which unfortunately I still haven't seen perform live. And thankfully they're still performing in Vegas. So there's a chance. I might still get a possibility to. And yeah, they absolutely I will put them at number one. They were the first one to kind of break the magician code when they went on TV and reveal a trick, which was such, oh, they revealed a trick, which wasn't even that big of a deal. They were just like making a point. And Gillette is very big on skepticism as well. He goes to podcasts, he goes on interviews, so that's important as well. And they just, the whole thing is that they don't take themselves too seriously, and that's what I like. There's another magician that they're doing the whole serious act, like I can really read your mind, I can really bend the spoon with my mind. I can't stand that. So I need to go with the ones that I know, and those two are comedy magicians, so definitely will be number one. Then, and people give a bad rap to this guy, but Chris Angel is quite a proper, like, magicians don't like him, but I'm like, it's exactly because magicians don't like him that I like him. Like, he, maybe not right now, but like back in the day also, his TV show was a game changer. It was weird, man. It was a weird, I don't know if you ever seen it. He had this TV show called Mind Freak. If you watch it now, it's almost cringy to watch at it, but I just love it. And he was, again, trying different things. He was doing different stuff. He technically breaks the rule of magic, but who cares? And again, I never seen it, but I heard that he has one of the best shows in Vegas right now. So you gotta give him props. And then, I mean, it'll be weird if you don't mention David Copperfield, because I mean, I feel like I have to if I don't say David Copperfield. And then other ones, I would say the names, but the thing is that most people don't know who they are. But one of my favorites is called Wes Barker. I actually met this guy. He flew Penn and Teller years ago, and my style is very similar, almost identical to him. He does stand-up comedy. He goes to comedy clubs. He starts with the stand-up routine, and suddenly he does a magic trick in the middle of it. It's exactly what I'm aiming to do. What he does, like he's perfect. Actually met him once, and he's crazy. he's completely insane. But yeah, he's a big inspiration because he's one of the one. He's about my age, and he's not starting now, but like he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And another one that's important to mention is Justin Willman, because he just got approved for the very first Netflix comedy special, Magic comedy special.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's gonna be the first one. And I'm like, I've been talking about this for years. I was like, why there's so many stand-up comedians on Netflix, but no magician? And now finally one of them has managed to get it. So hopefully it will open the door for all of us. So I feel like it's important to mention him. I also met him once, Well, I wouldn't say met him. It was a convention. I paid to be there, and he gave a lecture. So it's not like I met him, but I got a lecture from him. And yeah, those I can't think of. I'm probably missing a bunch of other names, but who cares? So, I hate TikTok just in general because I'm older than what I look.
Not because of Chinese app.
Maybe because it's a Chinese app. No, I don't care where the app comes from. I just don't like the whole. It goes fast and it's too. And then I hate it because I don't even think he promotes the creators anymore. He just promotes the app in general, and he creates such a just like echo chambers that like people just saying this one thing and they don't even check what it is and they believe anything. And I can prove that because I created an account where like, I cover my face and everything. The account is still there, and I pretended to have real magical powers. Like and I got I don't know 20,000 followers just because they absolutely believe that I had real magical powers, that I could move things with my mind, and the videos are not even that well done. Like in the beginning, I put a lot of effort into it. Then towards the end, it was so obvious that it was a trick, but still got a bunch of comments, and it got even worse to the point where people were willing to pay me to teach them this supernatural ability. That's when I'll call it quit. I was like, okay, I proved my point. That's enough. So I posted a video where I was like, I'm a magician. Everything you saw here was a trick. I'm sorry if I deceived you, but maybe you've learned a lesson, which is, don't believe the first thing you see on social media. And even though I posted that video, that was like maybe a year ago, as of today, I still get followers. I still get people who think I have real magical powers. And I even have people who says like, oh, he probably has to say that, otherwise the government will catch him. He has to pretend now it's all a trick. And I'm like, no, this app is promoting stupidity, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I have to let it go. But the page is still there. I can show it to you. It's still, I think there's like 500,000 views in one of the videos.
We might have to link it below, guys.
Just yeah, no, it's listen, they're fun. Some of my best tricks are in there as well.
It seems like the whole TikTok page might have been one of your best tricks.
Actually, yeah. I have what you can link. I'll send you the link. I have a YouTube video with the whole explanation, the whole story from start to finish. I started during COVID because people were sending me videos. Like they would send me a video of a guy turning a piece of paper on fire and be like, "How do you explain this?" I don't know. It's a trick. I was like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "Fine, give me 5 minutes. I'll send you a video show you how to do it." And then they just don't believe you. Oh, I heard a sound.
That's from the other device.
Is the other camera still complaining? We're not even using it. Yeah, so that's my adventure with TikTok, and kind of I'm a bit fed up with social media in general.
Fair.
But unfortunately, you're a performer, you have no choice. Like I cannot be completely absent from social media. There has to be, if someone searches for my name, they have to see something. It cannot be nothing. But I was really into it years ago, especially with the filmmaking or trying on YouTube. But now I try to minimize it as much as possible.
Fair.
It's just like I'd rather perform live in front of people in real life. That's what I prefer now.
What's been your journey with the live shows?
It was like an immediate hit. Like as soon as I did, I used to be in a band when I was a kid, so I'm not completely unfamiliar with the stage. When I was in high school, I used to play guitar, so I wasn't in a band. So I've been on stage since I was, I guess, a kid. But specifically the first time doing stand-up, that was terrifying. That's it. You're there, you have a microphone, there's nothing, there's no backup musicians, there's no
Class.
I didn't even do a magic trick because I wanted to see what it meant to just have nothing but your stories or your jokes. And it went great, and that's what happened. It went great. You get that dopamine hit, and now you're hooked. Now you do it a second time, you bombed because you're overconfident, but you learn your first lesson. And then if you can continue after that, then I think you got it. Like I would say if you can continue after
you bomb a few times, then you got it. Unless you're completely delusional and you just keep on bombing. But like, I don't know anybody who's bombed like more than 5 times, and you either get better or you quit. Like I never seen anybody who just keeps on going on stage to bomb. That would just be. I'm sure they exist, but that would just be weird. And a friend of mine started suggesting the idea of like, why are you separating the stand up with the magic? Just like, just do the magic and then do the stand up, do it like put it together. And that's when I started doing it. I was like, okay, next open mic I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do a track as well as tell a story, and then it just kind of went like this. Then I did my first one-man show a couple years ago just to see if I could pull it off. It went. It was okay. I'm planning on a new one soon. It's gonna be much better. But it was. I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. I learned that even though nowadays you gotta do everything, you have to be the writer, the performer, you have to produce, you have to do the marketing, but you need help. You can't just. You can. I remember when I did that one show, I also had to help at the entrance of the theater to get people in. And it's just, it took me off completely from, I should have been focusing on the performance. But I couldn't because I didn't have anybody to help at the door. So yeah, you need people. You need, especially if you're gonna do your own show, you need someone, like more than one person to like help you out. Otherwise, you just end up burn out. Or like the show is not gonna be as good because you're splitting your mind to like many different things. And I'm not saying it cannot be done. It's just like it's distracting. Shouldn't be.
It's about finding what works for you, I think.
And also, I started producing, like here we are in the space, we're doing a comedy show as well. Most of the time I'm the host. And I'm hosting because I like to perform, but also I'm producing the show as well, so I can do a full performance. So I'm just gonna bring out the performers in because I like just the show. I like the idea of like having my own show and stuff. But if I'm producing the show as well, I don't have time to do everything. So I'll be host, I'll do a couple jokes, I'll do one trick, and then I'll bring like someone who's prepared to just perform, someone who came just to perform and doesn't have to worry about anything else. Which is why I started producing my own open mic comedy show. And a couple years ago, also a show with magicians where I would bring, it would be like once a month, and I would bring like 4 different magicians every time. So I would produce and host the show, and then a magician will come and do a performance, and then another one. It will be like always like 4 different performers doing something, kind of like Smoke Show was, which was why I really liked Smoke Show. It was a really good one. It was a really good. It's a good idea. It's a good premise. It gives variety. It wasn't just comedians. So I'm trying to achieve the same thing. Talking a lot.
What more can you remember from Smoke Show?
Smoke Show. Yes, Smoke Show. It's when we met actually. Okay. So do people know? Shall we explain what the premise of the show is? So the idea when Laura contacted me, she was like, "Oh, do you want to be part of the show?" And then she explained the rules, which is you have to take a hit of weed from a bong. Then you play a game with an audience member, and then you perform. And the whole idea is just to take the pressure away. Which it's cool, except that I don't smoke. So, and I even told her I don't smoke and I'm terrible at playing games. So, like this should have not worked at all. But then I thought I like, especially now, I like to push, get myself out of the comfort zone. That's the only way you get better. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. I don't really have anything against like smoking. I personally don't like it, but like it's not like an issue. So I'm like, and I've done the gummy bears before, and it was a disaster. So I'm like, maybe the smoke will not be as bad. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. But I told her like, this is gonna be my first time smoking ever. She's like, no, don't worry, this is fun. It's gonna be fun. And I'm like, okay. So when I got there, I started getting nervous because there was a lot of people. And I usually don't get nervous, but I was nervous because I had to smoke. And I'm like, okay, we'll be fine. I guess this is the idea of the show. If I fuck up, it's because That's what they want you to smoke so you can, so it's fun. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Then I thought, I'm a magician. I can fake it. I can just like pretend. And it's like nobody will know. I'm just you take and then you blow some smoke out. It'll be fine. But the guy, I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy with the he pulled a trick on me because he gave me the instructions so well that it was impossible to like fake it. It was like just take all the air out and then do this and then do that. So like he tricked me and I take this thing and first my lungs are on fire. I never smoked before, so like I take this thing and it's like I start coughing. This I'm like, can I even talk now? I'm not sure. Then thankfully I played the game. I don't even know what the game. Oh, it was a charade. Was it charades? Or was it
The second charade.
the one where you have to draw?
Yeah, Pictionary.
Pictionary, yes.
How's your drawing skills?
No, Madrid skills are good, but they call this guy. This guy comes on stage. He guessed correctly the first one. I don't even remember what the first one was. The second thing was butt plug, and I'm like, okay, it's easy. It's easy to draw. There's no way. And I don't think it was picked up on the microphone because I draw this thing, and he has no idea. He says something completely nonsensical. And then next to it, I draw a butt. And he says, clitoris. I'm like, what? And I was glad that nobody heard it because I was like, that's what? And then the time ran out. And everybody knew it was a butt plug except for that guy. I'm like, great way to start the show. Fantastic. Then thankfully, for my performance, I was okay. It was like no issue whatsoever. But the moment I got off the stage, and then there was one more comedian. Rob was the last one after me. During this performance, that's where it hit. That's where I started just kind of like looking around. And that's when I heard my name. Because Laura was calling all the performers. I heard my name, and I'm looking at the stage. I hear my name, and I'm like, then I hear my name again. Yeah, Sebastiano, yeah, this guy. Where's this guy? And then the third time, finally, I realized, oh, shit, I gotta go on stage. And when I was on stage, at that point, I was panicking because I was like, I thought, shit, are we playing another game? Do I have to perform again? What should I do? And then I'm like, just wave. And I started doing this. And I'm like, no, don't wave. No, don't do anything weird. Just put your hands. And I didn't know what to do with my hands. That's when I was completely gone. Thankfully, we took a bar and then we left. And then usually, see, shows like this, like I was kind of upset because I like to stay and talk to people and maybe there's possibility for collaboration with somebody. But thankfully, like my partner was there. She was like, no, we're calling an Uber because you're completely out of it. Like, I need to take you home in a safe place because you're completely out. And she was right. I was just completely, even when we got home, I started giggling for no reason. And then I wanted to immediately look for the footage. I'm like, I need to see. She was like, don't just drink some water, go to bed, we'll sort it out tomorrow. And I was like, no, I have to send a message to Laura. I'm like, we can do everything tomorrow. You'll be fine. But it hit me big time. If I'm gonna do it again, I need to make a plan. I don't know what the plan is gonna be, but I need to make a proper plan because like it hit me big time. It's fun though. It was fun. For the first time, yeah. I think I said it on my YouTube video, like if you're gonna smoke weed for the first time, do it in front of 100 people. There's no better way to do it. Like, and yeah, I don't know if I don't know if they're gonna call me again, but like if they do, I'll probably do it again because it's good material.
It was a great show.
And it was a good show.
I remember you brought up 2 people on stage with you. How often do you actually bring people up on stage with you for tricks?
Quite often. It's magic is one of those things where it's very interactive. Like you need to have volunteers. You need to, unless even if you're doing a big illusion stage show, like I was fortunate enough. I did watch the David Copperfield show years ago. It's been the same for like ages, and even he does big illusions. Like at some point, there's a freaking T-Rex shows up on stage. It's amazing. It's like, I don't even know how the hell he's doing it. There's like levitation also. But even in his show, at some point he stops and he calls like someone from the audience, brings him on stage and does something like on the little close-up magic. So even he knows that you gotta interact with people when you do magic. So quite often I have to deal with people, and I got really good, almost because you were there. You see what happened with one of the volunteers. I got really good at selecting the people that I'm gonna bring on stage, because whoever you're gonna bring on stage can make or break the trick. And yeah, that girl that was on stage with me, that she didn't even realize what's going on. But at least she didn't echo or anything. She followed the instructions. She was just like completely out of it. But no, you gotta as a magician, you really have to interact with people. Like you have to deal with a volunteer that you bring on stage. Which is gonna be interesting to see how the guy does the Netflix, how they're gonna handle that. Wow. I'm guessing it's gonna be prearranged, like they're gonna have someone already mic'd up that they have prearranged to bring on stage, but it's important to learn how to deal with people.
How would you compare like illusions versus tricks? Like, what are the different things magicians do?
It's similar to like music. Like you would have your genres, you know, you have your rock, your pop, you know, orchestra. So you have the, because I hear sometimes like this really like close-up magic is something that we hear at a table, and like there's a lot of magicians that do that for weddings, they do it for like corporate events, they would just like roam around. And I've done it a couple of times. It's not really my thing, but I've done it a few times where you're invited at a conference and all you gotta do is go in table by table. You kind of, you know, interact with people, show them a trick. And some magicians are really good at that. That's all they do. And you're not gonna ask them like, oh, when are you gonna do a big illusion? They're gonna be like, it's like asking, I don't know, someone plays guitar in a place like this, asking them, oh, when are you gonna do your opera? You know, with the same, right? It's a completely different thing. Some magicians are able to adapt, like to do all things. Like some musicians can play multiple genres, but usually you pick one thing and kind of stick to it. And yeah, you got your close up, you got your stage illusion, you have your mentalism, which is very specifically. Comedy magic is becoming really big. Usually also there's a difference between, like, for example, stage and power. Power is more, you're still on a stage, but it's more like intimate. You might have maybe 30 people, and you can even do some close up thing because it's not too far away. It's different from like a stage where you have to bring like the big illusions, but like it's divided in genre. I'm more of a parlor type of thing because it's the kind of stand-up thing that's happening. And the other magic, I'm okay with close up, not the not the best, but like I can pull it off if I have to. Yeah, so it's just divided in genre, pretty much. Same as anything else, I think.
And the comedy passion is it like come now and like merge with the magic? Do you ever do like just comedy, just magic?
Comedy was always there for me when I was in film school and we had to like write scripts for the thing. I tried to be serious, it never worked. So I was always attracted to comedy. I was write the little comedy shorts, or even like, you know, you had to write like a script for a movie, and it was always like a comedy movie. So yeah, it was just there. I've done just stand up a few times, but I don't know. It feels like
It's part of you.
yeah, the magic. It
Part of
feels
the
like
story.
it feels like a waste now if I just go on stage and I don't do at least one trick. It feels like I'm not gonna say who this guy is, but it's a local magician used to be in South Africa, and he's an incredible juggler, like incredible juggler. But for some reason, most of the time, he doesn't do any juggling at all. Like he goes on stage, and I'm like, but why? Like, you never give me like a proper answer to it, but like, it feels like a waste. It feels like you have the skill and use it. It's like if you're one of those if you're really good at impressions, use it in your stand-up. Use it. If you can do voices and like you can do accents, and just flipping use it. It's like a skill day, just use it. I sometimes do use magic just to make a story like extra funnier. It's not even like a great trick, but I just put it in there just because I have it, I can do it, it makes it funny. I tried in the beginning to maybe separate it, like, no, if it's a magic, I'll do the magic. If it's like stand-up, I'll do that. But it doesn't matter, it's performance.
It's all you.
As long as you're entertaining the people. There's never been, I'm sure some comedian might say it behind my back, but nobody's ever been like, oh, why was there a freaking magician performing at a stand-up night? Nobody's ever said that. As long as you're entertaining the crowd, I think that's fine. Now, what they say behind my back, I don't know. Maybe they're saying like, oh, what did they bring a magician? One time, what they say was, sorry, I got to stop the this one time I was one of my first time hosting an open mic comedy night. And I was up with my friend Joe Emilio. There's another show actually on the 9th of June. I just got the notification now in Salt River at the DNA Cafe, and I'll be the host. It's an open mic. So one time, Joe's a friend of mine. And one time it was like, usually he's the host of the show, but he's busy. He's starting to have other people host the show. And one time I was like, hey, why don't you host it? And I was like, sure, it's fine. Like, what do I have to, just like you have to perform a little bit in between comedians, and you can do a trick, it doesn't matter. So the first time I hosted the show, one of the comedians, you know who you are. This person comes to me and literally goes like, oh, you hosting the show? I'm like, yeah. Why? Why? As in like, why you the host? Like, who are you? I'm like, my friend Joe. She was like, I said she, so I'm giving it away. She was upset that I was a nobody, basically. They was like, oh, why did you get this job? Like, you're no one. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of attitude. Cool. Definitely not gonna work with you again. But that was weird. That was weird. It also reminded me that there is a lot of competition. There is a lot of ego going on. Even amongst the magicians, there's a lot of magicians here in South Africa who just hate each other. As soon as one of them does something great, they're like, you cheated or whatever. Unfortunately, there's a lot of drama going on. And every once in a while, someone reminds you. I try not to think about it and just laugh it off.
How often do you get on stage?
I try, not with comedy specifically, but like on stage, I really try to, at the minimum, have at least one show a month, or like a place where I can be on stage. Obviously, I try to push it. Right now, because I'm waiting, because I have auditioned for a few things that might require me to travel, I cannot commit. So I haven't booked as many shows for this reason, unfortunately, because I might not be here. But as soon as I know whether I'm going or not, I'm gonna, like, if I'm not going, then I'm gonna immediately book as many places as much as possible. I love to perform. I don't, thankfully, I don't need to make money from it. So even if the pay is like terrible, as long as I get to be on stage and I get stage time, I can do it. So that's great. And at least like once a month. I met this incredible magician from the Netherlands, and he was here in South Africa last year. He actually made a lecture and then a show. We performed together here with the show together, and this guy is incredible on a whole other level. And I was specifically looking, and I was trying to figure out what's the secret, what's the formula, why are you so good at performing? And then I realized he lives in Amsterdam, and they perform once a week. Once a week. That's what it is. That's the only, what's the difference? Like, we know the same amount of magic. We're same set of skill. He's a good comedian as well. Why is he, I don't want to say better, but like, he is. Why is he so much better than me? Like what's the difference? There's only one difference. He performs more.
Environment.
Yeah, he performs way more. So that was kind of like a wake up call, and I'm like, okay, I have to be on stage as much as possible. That's the only difference, and that's got to be it. And unfortunately, that brings you like Smoke Show was great, but I've been in a situation where you're like, why did I say yes? Like I've been in places where there was like one table, just like there's a stage, and in front of you there's like one table of like 5 people that just wander into the space that didn't even know that it was gonna be a show. And now you have to entertain these people that probably didn't even want to be there. And those are the worst. Those are like I have friends who's like, no, but that helps you. No, that helps nothing. That helps nothing. They don't want to be there, so there's nothing you can do to make them happy.
Sure.
You want to perform, but they don't want you to. So they'll just like yeah. Those are the worst. I haven't had many of those, but the few times that it's happened is very frustrating because you're like, I think one time I had a whole set in my mind. I'm gonna do this, and then I saw it was only one table, and they were just kind of talking among each other, and I was like, okay, whatever. I took the mic away. And I literally sat down with them and I had like a deck of cards and I was like, what do you want to see? Let's just, like, it doesn't matter. Like, let me just, 5 minutes, let me do this thing. And they actually liked it. But it was like, I took my whole set, like, just throw it away. And I was like, you know, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to be like, oh. I was asking questions to them. I was like, oh, have you seen what kind of magic do you like? Have you seen this guy? Oh, let me try something similar. And I just left it there. It was a waste of a night for everybody.
How important is adapting to your different audiences or rooms?
Everything. I don't want to be that guy who's gonna suddenly give advice. If you have a style of comedy and whatever, you don't listen to what I'm saying. But I do believe that if you don't acknowledge who's in front of you, you're not gonna get performed. If you have your script and that's it, like just you go through like your script no matter what's going on, then I'm sorry, you're not good at it. you're not gonna go far. In the beginning that was my mistake. I would follow the script. Something would happen, I would ignore it and just like, no, but this is my script. I'm gonna go out. Like it's at least for me it doesn't work. I almost don't even have a script anymore. I have bullet points and go from there. But like you need, especially live shows, especially if you're new, if it's a live show, you need to acknowledge who's there with you. Like unless you're so famous that you have like someone else who just warm up the crowd for you, and people specifically know who you are and they're coming to see you, then sure, half of the job is already done. But if they don't know, there's a big issue. I'm gonna go on a tangent. There's a big issue, and I've been talking to comedians and other performers about this a lot. Is that some people think that they're coming to see you specifically. No, they're coming to a comedy show. They're coming to a magic show. So they're expecting to see magic, they're expecting to see comedy, they're expecting to see you. So you have to introduce yourself first somehow. Make them become friends with you. Almost, I'm not going to say explain what it is that you do, but like kind of show what your style is. Because otherwise, the people come to comedy show expecting maybe one-liners, which is nothing bad about one-liners. But like, they're coming to see maybe a comedian who's going to make the classic, a horse walk into a bar, this kind of nonsense. Instead, they get a guy who's suddenly incredibly political. They're gonna be like annoyed, but it's not their fault. They just write the posters like comedy. Comedy could be it's like music and magic. There's so many different genres. It could be anything. And I'd be suggesting that you have to be more specific. If you're gonna do a show, say like Smoke Show, love it. Come and get high. We are gonna get high. People on stage are gonna get high. You're gonna get high. We're all gonna get high. Fantastic. You know exactly. Like imagine if someone like someone, I don't know, incredibly religious, just wants to come to a comedy show and it stumbles inside smoke show because it didn't say smoke show, just say comedy. Can you imagine how awkward it would be for them? Like they're offering weed, people drinking all over the place. Like it would be terrible. So like the comedy shows in general, they have to be a bit more specific. Otherwise, the people that come in are just gonna be like completely unrelated. Or you as the host, I do a lot. Work out the crowd in the beginning. Make sure that they understand where they are and what they're gonna see, because otherwise it's just gonna be complete disaster. When I host magic shows, for example, I always say this is interactive. Like we're gonna have to call some of you as volunteers. You're gonna have to participate. So, just so you know, like don't be surprised when suddenly someone is coming on stage. But it happens quite often. Like there's people, and I used to blame the audience, but it's not. There's people who they don't know. They just come to a show because they read a poster. The poster was kind of generic, and now they're annoyed because it happened with a friend of mine because he did a lot of very harsh joke, like very politically, not correct. Like he was very like made a bunch of joke about religion and politics, and like half of the audience was very annoyed. And then they complained to the shows and were like, "Oh, maybe we should have been more specific. Who's performing? What's the style of performance?" Yeah. I hope that answers
Definitely.
the question. I'm gonna post most of these clips and people are gonna hate me. I know this. I'm ready for it.
Which is
Bring it. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm gonna tell you, Cape Town, you gotta do better. That's what I'm saying. You gotta do better. You can fight me.
magician off, like fireballs in each other and stuff.
We're gonna have a proper magical
Duel.
tournament, a duel. What's the thing? Like we're gonna put our name into the goblet of fire, and if it comes out, we'll have to fight a dragon. I don't know. Actually, I don't like those movies. I know. Ooh. I said it. I said the worst thing. I don't like everybody. Oh my god. Anything. What's another? I'm gonna piss more people off.
Good for the comments and the TikTok growth.
I'm gonna piss more people off also. When it comes to performing in Cape Town, there's too many echo chambers. There's too many comedians to stick with the wrong group, and then they end up performing for each other. What is that gonna do? What's the point of like you performing in a room full of comedians and then you all take turns to just like pat yourself in the back? That's gonna do absolutely nothing. You gotta like expand and bring other people. Good on Laura's inviting me and I forgot her name, Peachy Keen, who did a fantastic performance, like singing and being in drag with the
Even
snake.
impressive, especially with smoking.
Yeah, especially with smoking that she got to sing. Like, no, absolutely fantastic. What else? What we got?
Any
I'm gonna get another drink soon if we keep going.
fair- any advice for? I think you have given quite a bit of advice for like new magicians, new comedians, but I think really just getting on the stage, being active, going to different places.
God, it's like it's difficult. I always said to myself, I don't want to become one of the guys who's gonna give advice because I don't think I'm qualified. Sorry, small tangent. Like there's a college of magic. Yeah. I was actually once asked to do a lecture, and I was like, oh, I really should not. Like, I did it because it's a non-profit organization. They do a great job with the kids, so I ended up saying yes. But I was like, I don't know. Thankfully, we ended up mostly like there were kids, and I taught them magic tricks, so that's fine. I can teach you a magic trick. But when it comes to like other advice, it's really tough.
Introducing yourself to people, kind of like you're saying.
I would say actually, are you talking about performance or are you talking about just like becoming a performer? Because they're two different. Because if there's one thing that I would tell people is that find a source of revenue that is not your performance. If you really want to enjoy performing, just I don't know, find a job that doesn't annoy you that much. There's a lot of opportunities to work from home these days. Like find like a source of income that doesn't take too much over time, or even if it takes too much of your time, it doesn't stress you out. You're not like stressed out about it, because I personally don't think there's much money in just being a performer, unless you become like, I know a lot of performers who do this for a living, but I always question how long can they keep going? Because some of them already now they're my age and they burn out. Like they and like you call them on the weekend, it's like, hey, shall we meet up? I'm like, no, I have 4 shows. And like, I have 4 shows in 4 different places and I have to drive there and I'm sick. I'm like how long can you keep it up? And like how many like weddings are you gonna perform at before you're just gonna be completely like, I don't want to do this? And also, can you really improve your art if you cannot take chances? Because the problem with and if they're happy with that, by all means, all respect. If your day job is you're a magician, good for you. But I don't see, when I perform on stage, I take a lot of chances. When I perform a smoke show, they're cutting a magician off. That was my first time doing it. I was like, this could go completely wrong. But I was like, I want to do it. If you're hired to entertain a crowd at a conference, at a I don't know, corporate event, at a wedding, you can't take chances, because if you're shit, they're not gonna call you back. So you have to do the one material you've been doing that you're good at, that you're really good at it, but you can't diverge, because you're gonna take a chance, and then if you take a chance, you might lose your gig. So if you can do that, and a lot of magicians I know they do it and they're great and good for them. Some of them have a lot of money, like they're like top billing, either here in South Africa. Others have moved somewhere else and been doing well. But if you actually want to be an artist, I think you need to find a different source of income, so that your art is not what I'm looking for. It's not bound by the fact that you need to make money from it. I think it's very dangerous. You're gonna put yourself into all sorts of restraints because you need to make the money. So I cannot do it. I've done a few corporates and I hated it. Actually, I have one rule. I don't do kids' birthday party, and I don't do weddings. Everything else can be negotiated, but no kids, no weddings. Weddings, lost.
Yeah, you need boundaries of like knowing
Oh goodness.
who you want to be, what you do want to do, what you don't want to do, and having that freedom to have those boundaries.
Yeah. Jeez, let me weddings, man. Whoa, because they gonna blame you. Like even like if something happens, it's gonna be your fault somehow. Bro. And kids, oh man, I know. I have friends who do the kids' birthday party, and I'm like, massive respect. Like you're a hero. You're doing what all of us cannot. Not even the parents of those kids, because they just hire you, so you take it for like 2 hours. So massive respect for magicians, all performers in general, like clown, this guy, even the people who they paint the face of the kids. I'm like, massive respect. I don't know how you do it, just good on you. But yeah, find a source of income and then focus on your art. And then I guess the last thing now, performance wise, it's a bit of cliche, but like you have to remember that the art is not for you. It's for the audience or for the spectators. So you're gonna have to learn how to make some compromise, or like learn what people want. Like you can, sure, you can be the kind of artist that I'm like, I'm just doing it for myself. But I'm like, then why are you even going on stage or anything? Like if you're an artist, then you're doing art for the people, not just for yourself. Otherwise, it's pointless. Those are my 2 advice, if you can call it that. Like again, do your thing. Please don't blame me. If you're gonna follow this advice and then it doesn't work, just don't come to me and blame me, please.
How important is like aesthetic and style for you as well? Like that was something I noticed the first day I met you. It's like you were very well dressed. You were well dressed again. That you were either a vampire or a magician.
Oh yes, you call me a vampire. Love it. It's very important, and it's something that I've been fighting for the longest time. This was my last lesson, and I suddenly realized that I have a friend, and he put it the best way. It was one of the funniest thing I heard when he says he came to me and he was like, people need to look at you, right? Like they're looking at you, right? We all see you, we all need to look at you. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you can't be ugly. Literally, that's what he said. Like, just don't be ugly. We need to look at you. And that's when I started to realize, okay, I can't just be whatever it is that I took a pair of jeans and a t-shirt because that's the first thing. Oh, because I'm comfortable. Like, who cares that you're comfortable? It's not the point. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to start look a certain way if I'm gonna be performing. And then I thought, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be fancy, but it has to be a look that is recognizable, that makes sense also. And like even for marketing and stuff, it will be like, oh, yeah, the guy, I forgot his name, but it was dressed really well. And the dressing specifically for me, it became, well, I'm Italian, so I can't avoid that. It's my accent, so I started working it into my persona as well. I started dressing fancy because people think Italian dress fancy, which is, sure, it's a bit of a cliche, but whatever, I'm gonna use it. So then I was like, okay, make sure that I'm just wearing a vest. Even when I do comedy, maybe I'm wearing a t-shirt, but I put a vest on top of it, just to kind of remind people that I like to dress nice because I'm Italian. And then I started doing jokes connected to the fact that I'm Italian. And how we do this, we do that, and I just kind of turn it into my persona. So people will remember, oh, the Italian guy who dresses nice. I kept the beard. I mean, it used to be I was like, oh, it looks nice, just keep it there. Make sure today is not that well groomed, but usually I make sure it's like nice and groomed. And like people need to look at you. Like as much as we live now in a world where you have to be non-judgmental and let people be who they want to be, we still have to look at each other. And we need to acknowledge, like, it's not, look at the famous actor, they're pretty. I mean, it sounds like very shallow, but it is what it is. Like, you can't, if you
Control what you can control.
yeah, control what you can control. Like, look a certain way. I go to the gym, I try to work out, I'm trying to keep myself like looking healthy, and it's part of what it is. Like, you can't fight it. And I was for the longest time I was fighting it. I was like, even the Italian thing, I was like, no, I'm not gonna mention that I'm Italian. I'm not gonna talk about me being Italian. Like, no, I'm comfortable in whatever, sweatpants, like for the longest time I fight it until like I don't remember exactly the moment that clicked, but at some point I was like, no. I think social media helps. Was like suddenly you have to do photo shoots. You have to take pictures so you can post them on social media, and then you're like, oh, who's the, who's the fat guy in a t-shirt? Like I don't remember him, and I'm like, that's the problem. That's the problem. I need to make sure that people are gonna remember. You gotta remember this also. It's annoying. I'm not saying it's not. It's unfair. Yes, life is. But yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Think of pop icons, rock artists. Like they all have a specific look, and it's not random. They worked on it. They probably have a team of people that work on it. And be prepared to compromise. I always said I don't have a team of people, but one day I'll have, and they tell me, I don't know, shave the beard. I'll be like, it's gone. Like you gotta listen to them. That's I always say it's a game. You have to learn the rule and then play by the rule. And then if you become big enough that you can change the rule, awesome. But until then, you can't fight it. It's not gonna work.
True.
That's my very strong opinion. I had very strong opinion on performing in the arts in general. Actually, what's funny is that I don't know what this is. They told me weird stuff that this is like a jewelry example, like this is within plastic. And then they choose, these are all plastic, and they choose which one, like if they want one or two, or just one, or like if you want to grab this and you want to put it on the other side, you can. Now it's on the other side. If you don't like it red, just shake, and you can change it with the color. Now you got it with this color. I can see that you're not interested in the yellow, so we'll shake it back to red. Now, what you gotta watch out is that if you press the one in the middle, suddenly you get two, and now you have all three colors. If you don't like it, you just shake it again. You get it back to your red one. If you throw it in the air, you catch it like this. Change the side, and then you can also just do this and just kind of turn it into a real one and have it for yourself. It's a little, see, this is the kind of thing I was saying about close-up magic and things that look a bit more weird, that are different from the usual like card tricks. I can do a card trick as well. I just wanted to show you something a bit different, more unique. Still don't know what this thing is. Well, that's it.
Awesome.
Little props.
No,
I don't know how it looked on the video, but
it's just like, how many times do you think you've been? How many times have you done a show?
It's weird because there's a moment where when you finally don't have to focus too much on how the moves are, then you can have a lot of fun with it. Then it becomes like a lot of fun.
Understand all your tools and.
You make this loose.
Like more, like what? Maybe there. Yeah, more like down.
No, just in case you're gonna speak.
Are you gonna?
Yeah.
It must not vote.
Exactly.
Sit there.
Like I just needed a little bit.
Try.
No, it's kind of stuck.
Oh.
So, is it this one? Oh, thanks. Okay, so it's this one. Okay.
Should I move closer? I should have got that closer. It's fine. Okay, we'll try this. If it doesn't work, cut out. Are we both in frame? Okay, so another thing that I feel like most magicians don't focus on. It's magic. It's not so much about the trick or the magic. It's about connection. It's about creating an experience, a sort of never connection. And the thing that I like also is when I can somehow share the magic. When I can perform something for you, but almost like you're performing something for me as well. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. We'll try to create a connection. We'll see how it goes. I need you to shuffle this deck because if it's in my hands, you're not gonna trust me. I like it. So that's I like it. It's fine. Tell me when you. Oh yes, we don't need this. Okay, check that all the cards are normal. Except for this one, there should be. I'm gonna tell you a funny story actually. So people think that this is specifically a magician thing, but actually, back in the day, every deck of cards used to have a blank one, just in case you lose a card. You can write which one you lose. You can take jokers out actually. Let's make sure that so there's no confusion. Okay,
Just magic.
no jokers. no, yeah, just me. Cut it in half. Not exactly half, but like just and give me one. One of the halves. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle it. You can keep on shuffling that one. So did you check really quick that they're all different? The one that you have as well.
No duplicates.
No duplicates. No. Okay, now we're gonna try to create this kind of connection to this grapple. So to the best of your ability, just kind of spread them like this. That's fine. Now, gonna be a little bit goofy. Like do as I do. We're just gonna do put your finger like this. Just do the kind of ghost finger. Ooh, like this. It's just gonna be like a little bit goofy, just like this. And when you feel like you have a card somewhere, I want you to push it out like this. Just push it right in front. Like right in front. Like that. Just like this. Put your hands on top, like that. We're just trying to create like feeling some sort of like connection. Is it good? We got a little connection. Okay, now look at that card. I'm gonna look at mine. Don't show it to anybody. Just like remember it. Don't put it down. Okay, so you know what your card is. I know what my card is. Okay, I'm just gonna put it back. Do the same thing. I'm just gonna put it back in my palm. Just like this. It's kind of there at the end, so I need you to collect them all and then shuffle it because I don't want to see where that card goes. Like you didn't see where mine goes. So I have a card in mind. You have a card in mind. Okay, just shuffle. Cool. You have to do a shuffle. Okay, can you just do that like this? Now I'm gonna give you mine. You give me the social transfer. You remember which card you have selected. I think I remember which card I said. I didn't show you mine, but that's fine. Okay, you have one like this. All right, now if we done this correctly, you should have felt some sort of connection. So I'm gonna try to find your card, even though I don't know what it is, and you're gonna try to find mine. You don't know what it is. When you think you have one, just put it down face down on the table. Okay? Just go through it like I'm doing. If you're not sure, maybe pick one or two, and then commit to like one. Like I'm actually not sure at this point. Oh man, this might be a problem, but I'm committed to this one. Yeah, I'm committed to this one. You just don't think about it too hard. Just commit to one and put it down. Who should go first? Let's see from left up. What was your card?
10 of spades.
Was it 10 of spades? Was it spades or was it more like a flowery?
Wait, yeah. Wait, what's the...
Was it club? Is it
This one.
club? The 10 o'clock. But that's the thing. I'm the magician though. So it's easy for me. Now, the card that I picked was Jack of Diamonds. Is that the one that you have selected? Nice.
Dude, I was like,
Nice.
which
Well
one?
done. The connection is being established. I love when I can share it when I make you do the magic and I can share the magic. Yeah, this is one of my favorites to do like this, to do one-on-one. I wouldn't do this on a stage. I wouldn't do it like, not even like if it's like 10 people or 20 people. This is like maybe 1 or 2 people, one-on-one, just to kind of make you feel how fun it is to do a magic trick. Yeah, that's it. That's what I have for you guys today. It's up to you. It's your podcast.
Yeah, anything else? I'm sure it's anything else like you want to make sure we mention or any questions you wish.
Just come to my shows. Actually, just go. Actually, not just to mine. Just go out. Just go to shows. Just get out. Get out of the house.
Get out there.
Go support the local performers. Don't be afraid to tell them they're bad when they are. We need to learn. You know, we all need to learn. So give us real feedback. And that's it. Oh my God, thank you so much for having me.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure.
Check the links.